What a beautiful day.
Good morning, good morning.
The sunshine is not out. It's way too early in the morning to be up.
Yeah, daylight savings hits
Ugh.
hard.
I don't like it. I want to veto it.
I actually like it this time of year though, in terms of it sucks to go through it, but I so appreciate it being so much lighter when you get out of work. I hate it when you go out the door in the wintertime and it's dark when you leave the house and it's dark when you come back. That's just sad.
I wish we were just closer to the equator where the sun comes out like 5 in the morning and doesn't go down to like 9 p.m.
I know. Where you still get enough dark time where it's fine. It's not like Alaska where you have to have like blackout curtains half the year, but yeah, you get like really long days. I love
Want to know a
that.
secret?
What?
I kind of want to go on a cruise to Alaska one day.
I don't know that I would qualify that as a secret, but that's cool. I mean, I've heard those Alaskan cruises are really dope.
And there's a poker cruise too.
But
we're not here to talk about my dreams about going on a cruise trip. We're here to talk about broski.
Okay, Broki.
Broki, es la misma mierda.
Okay, so let's talk about how we came up with the name concept and the branding concept for the pomade. So first, just to run it back, if you guys have not seen any of our episodes, we're talking about launching a special product this month, but the goal is to take $10,000 to actually build and launch a product so that you guys can see the behind the scenes of what it takes from a marketing perspective, from like a business creation standpoint.
Yeah.
So that you can see behind the scenes.
And let's be realistic. It's looking hard to launch this month. Like any other business, delays are inevitable.
Tell me what the delays are. I want to know more.
Getting the formula right. And then honestly just that. Like everything else is pretty much on point and just figuring out the correct formula.
And what, a pomade has like 4 or 5 ingredients?
Allegedly. It's supposed to have like 5 ingredients.
And I'm just curious. Now, what are kind of the difficulties you're running into, the challenges?
Binding ingredients. For example, of like we're trying to make a water-based pomade, so it's getting the right elements of the oils and the waters to combine properly and stay solidified for a long period of time, not just for like a couple hours. Because the problem we're running into right now is like if you press your finger too hard on the paste or on the pomade, it starts leaking water. You seen the episode of X-Men?
Interesting. I've never seen an episode of X-Men.
I mean, the movie X-Men from like the 90s.
I've never seen the movie X-Men.
Okay, Magneto, he tries to convert humans into mutants, right? And then there was a senator, I forgot his name, but he went through like the little electricity kind of wave that converts him into a mutant, and then before he knew it, his cells were breaking apart, and he just became water.
So Magneto is in your house, and he's messing with the pomade, is what I hear.
I'm saying that my cells, which is my pomade base, is turning into like water.
Okay. And what are you going to do to fix that?
I consulted a little known thing called YouTube.
Okay.
And we're trying to learn chemistry. And honestly, we are. Like, legit, we're trying to find the right balance of like we're trying to do all natural. And the reality is, I think we need to splash in some special chemicals to actually bind the natural elements together, which is not a bad thing, but we just have to learn a little bit of chemistry, and we're doing that through some master classes, some Skillshare, and then of course my favorite, YouTube.
Do you think that it's better to develop the branding alongside when you create the product, or to create the product first and then to actually go and create the branding?
I think it's up to the individual. I think you and I, we're more doing anything simultaneously because it works independently. Like we know eventually we're gonna get a dope ass formula, and we're gonna take that formula and put it into like a laboratory, and then they're actually gonna mass produce the stuff for us. We're just getting that base formula and then giving to the labs, and then say, hey, can you mass produce this? Of course, when you start mass producing stuff in volumes, stuff is gonna shift a little bit around, right? And to make sure they get the same consistency. And that's why we're gonna, put that off to the laboratory so they can make sure that those ratios are correct. So building the brand aside with it just makes sense to me. But maybe a different business owner might say, hey, I just want to make sure I got something solid before I start diving into.
Well, I think what's important is that a lot of times the product can determine the branding. And so in our case, what we know you're messing with is not going to change. So for example, the scents, you came up with these like different scents. And then from there, we talked about the brand concept and the pomade and what we wanted it to evoke. So because we know that the scents aren't changing, and we know that the you're just working on the consistency, totally makes sense to continue talking about
'Cause
branding.
the product is viable right now. We have a pomade. It does work in your hair. It
But you're working on improving the customer experience. You're basically in
Yeah.
research and development to make sure that it is like it feels the best. It has to work, but it also has to like feel great.
yeah, and then
Yeah.
it has to have a long shelf life. Like I think most of my pomades are like 6 months to a year shelf life, right?
Mhm.
I can't have a product within 2 weeks. It starts like turning water on me because it's all
Yeah.
natural. You gonna feel me?
No, that makes perfect sense. So I think that's something that's important because like all natural is such a big buzzword. And so first off, just because something has something synthetic in it doesn't mean it's bad, right? And second, that if you're dealing with completely all natural ingredients, you can have some pretty nasty side effects or some weird results.
I think it's a very short lifespan.
Yeah, how long did you say those pomade that you made, like those batches, are supposed to last? Like the all natural ones.
Most 2 weeks.
Yeah, that's crazy. So you could make it, but then you have to use it within 2 weeks.
Which, at the small quantities that you find the recipes online, it works because within 2 weeks you probably would use it all up.
But it makes no sense for selling. That's absolutely not. I don't even think you could get it in stores because you have to have a shelf life.
Mm-hmm.
So that's interesting, and I think that's a relevant sidebar. And I know today we're going to talk about branding and names, but there's so much that goes into the actual building of the product that I think was really interesting to dive into.
Yeah.
So you gave me total freedom with what to name and the branding for this, right?
Correct.
In fact, you were like, I don't really care.
I don't recall saying that. I care tremendously about this product.
Well, no, but that shows that you were really focused on the product.
That shows that I trust you to know what I like, and I'm not scared to give you the freedom. Just go crazy.
So I came up with, first what I did was I Googled, I wanted to understand the space, specifically men's hair care, beauty, skincare, anything to do in that space. I want to see if they were naming trends, if, what is out there, what people are using, and then also branding, colors that are used and all this. And with a few exceptions, the space is super boring. A lot of black and white, a lot of super simple neutral colors, a lot of navy. God, there is so much navy in this space.
Those are like more of the traditional ones. Like the new ones up and coming right now.
Like Harry's does a really good job with color. And I think that was interesting. But let me tell you, when I did a naming analysis where I just looked at all these different products, it was, I think when I first presented this to you, it was like manly, men. It was like the 2.5 Men like theme song. It was like Harry's, Hims, like Mr. Squatch, like everything is like, did you know I'm a man and I am manly and this is a product for men. And something that you had brought up to me was that you wanted a pomade to feel unisex. Like, sure, it was a product towards originally.
Because I've seen females use pomade.
Well, yeah, it makes sense, especially if you have similar hair, you have a shorter hairstyle, and you want to, add some texture to it and have it hold. So
or
you
wanted
wanted something
undercut,
that was,
or you you do a ponytail and then kind of just like slick it back.
So you wanted something that was definitely, had the potential to be marketed more unisex, and also just not so like overtly like, I just didn't want to play into that trope of like manly man but also not the opposite where it's like so feminine. It's the space goes both ways. So I came up with a whole bunch of names, like a whole bunch, and then also I wanted something to pull on that felt unique to you. So your Puerto Rican heritage, I know you are super proud to be from Puerto Rico through and through.
Smiling.
And also the pomade is a product you're making for Latino hair, right? And so that just kind of goes into it too. So I started looking up Spanish words. I also know there's like a large Spanish-speaking population in the U.S. So this is how my brain works in these buckets. And I just started going through just brainstorming names and words. And so I think these are some of the ones I came up with. Don't ask me why. This is just like how my brain was. So cooked, hecho, listo, chalant, like nonchalant, but like actually no, I'm chalant. Yugar, which is unbothered. So I just started thinking about like, I wanted, I was looking through all these names of like, what is like a chill? I wanted it to be a pomade for someone who's really low maintenance. Like low maintenance, but wants to look really good. They want to look like they spent time on their hair, but they didn't spend time on their hair. You know what I'm saying?
That's me. I spent like 2 seconds to do my hair.
But you want it to be like, yeah, I put time into this.
Yeah.
So then I came onto these 3 kind of top choices. One is unbothered. So like unbothered hair care. And
which was pretty cool when I saw your little presentation.
And I thought about that would be, you know, simple, clean, and relaxed, good for a get ready quick for the man on the move, look good with little effort, that sort of thing. The colors would be like burgundy, black, and cream.
You see how she associates colors already with this?
Well, yeah, I have to visualize it in my brain. I love this one, and it's a great one for anyone that wants to start a hair care product line, because we didn't choose it. Bad Hair Day. It is fun. It is interesting. You can get badhairday.com. And
when you brought that to me, you know what movie popped in my head?
What?
Freaky Friday.
Oh, yeah.
I don't know why.
Well, so I was thinking that Bad Hair Day could have been very edgy, like Liquid Death. You know how they play on, it's a water company, but they're called Liquid Death. So imagine having a hair care company, but it's called Bad Hair Day. And you show what the product could do. I'm already thinking of brand activations, right? I'm thinking of influencers coming in and they're messing their hair up and then they're putting it back together.
I'm going to take 2 seconds. I just want to verify something. Did you ever watch Freaky Friday?
Yes, I watched the original and the remake.
Okay, cool.
Yes.
We're good then.
Yeah. Yeah. And then, so I really like the idea of, and I think it's something we can even do for the pomade. I saw this brand on TikTok that was showing off their hair care products by messing up their hair and then just like fixing it back. And it stayed perfectly. And then that one could have been black and white, maybe, you know, edgy, look at Zippo lighters, doodles, metal seeming font. Like, I was all over the place on that. Okay? And then finally, my third and final concept, which you really liked, was Broki, which means brother. Well, in my research, Broki was like Puerto Rican slang for brother.
UrbanDictionary.com.
Yeah. Okay. So it wasn't entirely accurate, right? Or is it broski or is it broki?
It can go both ways. If you do more of like American wise, it's with the S, without.
Yeah, and I felt like broski is a little overplayed, and it's very much like, yeah, a little hey broski. Whereas broki felt a little newer and hip, like there was something different. It's easy to spell, it's short, it's everyone can say it, but it felt a little different. And brokihair.com was available. So that's also, I look at URLs and I want to see what domains are available, because you can have the best idea in the world, but if that domain is taken, sucks to suck, you know?
Mm-hmm.
And for that one, leaning into the Puerto Rican heritage, island vibes, you know, all of that. Tell me why Broki really stood out to you with all these concepts.
It's my childhood. It was just fun. It's something like we always say when we were growing up. It just fit the vibe. Like it was the vibe. It's like, you know, when you meet the girl across the bar and you're like, you connect eyes with her and you're like, hey, what's up? That was me and Broski.
Okay, so we then decided to test 3 different brand concepts rather than just do one. We have the name, rather than just come up with one general concept. We wanted to test it and then share with you guys the results. Okay, so I'm going to pop up on here. These are the 3 branding concepts that we're working with right now, that we're actually going to test all 3 of them. So they all came from the idea of Puerto Rican heritage, Broki, right?
Mm-hmm. My island.
Let's go through them. So the first, I wanted to evoke surfer boy, because I asked Jose, I was like, okay, what things about Puerto Rico really stand out to you?
Beaches, palm trees, coconuts, mountains, beautiful highways, beautiful sunsets, star nights.
So
boats.
Mountains, the first few things he said were mountains, palm tree, ocean. So this is why we came up with this concept for Broki that has the mountains, it has the palm trees, the sun, the water. And then I really love this one being more like almost like 70s surfer boy aesthetic, island life.
See, I was thinking more like the Beach Boys, like 60s.
Ooh, okay, yeah.
Kind of like throwback, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, but that's why we have the colors, like the teal and the brown and the gold, just something that feels, it still feels modern, but it kind of has that like throwback flair. So that's the first concept. The second one is another big part of Puerto Rican culture, which is carnival. So tell me a little bit about carnival.
I mean, from my research and talking to my family, aunts that lived there, and cousins, it started like back when the Spanish came over. It was like to wear off demons and stuff, like scared, and over the years it just kind of evolved more into like a tradition, like carnival mask. Each little town has their own little mask.
But it's like a festival, right? Like,
correct.
Talk about actual carnival.
Yeah, it's fiesta patronales. It's like it's a celebration of when the town was founded. It's like a It's a whole vibe. It's a party.
So it's a giant party, and then each town has these super colorful masks
That represents them.
that represent the towns, and they wear them, and they're fun, and they're a little creepy, but they're really cool.
They're not creepy at all.
They can. Some of them can be. But what I loved, what drew me to them, is the bright colors, the patterns. They have polka dots. They have stripes. They're just like in your face. And I was like, we could do something cool with this from a branding perspective, which is where we get this second concept. And so the pomades they come in these circle tins, right? We're
gonna put them in circle tins.
And they are gonna have, like, thinking about the branding, they'll have a sticker on the top and the bottom. And the bottom will be probably the ingredients and all of that. But the top will be the branding. So we were thinking, my brain went to, when I saw those masks, it could be super cool that each different scent of the pomade would have a different mask. Just like each different village or town in Puerto Rico has a different mask associated with it, so that you could expand.
See, we were thinking about scents. I was thinking about like actual, like, kind of like, you got pomade, then you got the matte, then you got the shine. Kind of each different line has their own little mask. Because the scents are gonna be like they're gonna be quite a bit of different scents, and I don't wanna use all the masks just on different scents.
No, that makes sense. So that's where we came up with this concept. What do you think about this one?
I like it. I like it. I mean, I think it's dope. I'm really big. So out of the three, that one is like my second favorite. My first favorite, of course, is the beach one, the first one.
Okay, the third one is also a really big fan. I love the third one. So this one came from something that you told me about Puerto Rican culture, which is there is this native indigenous language called Taino, right?
No, Taino's the people.
Okay, so the people are Taino, and they have these symbols. There's language, pictographs, and there are these really, really cool pictographs. And we went through a bunch of them, and the one that really stood out to me was the Taino sun, which the obviously, the sun god, like Puerto Rico, the sun, very big. And so we just went with this sort of hand-drawn font, and then we had the Taino sun as the O in Broki, which I think is really cute. It's unique. It's different. I want to use the word
cute. I'll say it's very pleasing to the eye.
It's cute. And what I like is that none of these scream like dude, like manly man dude, but they're all like fun, cool. They feel very island vibe, very relaxed. And so you like the first one, right? That's your favorite?
The first one's my favorite. I think it's just it's hard to pick. Okay, because I really like all three of them. I'm gonna change my answer. The first one is my favorite. Second one is the third option, was Taínos. And then the third one is carnival mask. But I think the carnival mask is just so cool because you can do so many things with it. But aesthetically, first, third, second.
No, I get that. So what we're going to do is we're going to, just full transparency, create those little stickers, like mock up the pomade. And we're probably going to put a landing page together that's like, coming soon, sign up to receive updates, or sign up and we'll let you know when the product launches for pre-orders. And we are just going to cross-test each one of those designs and see which one people like more. The only other thing is it's not just the visual design. We're also going to cross-test the language, the branding language. So one of them, the carnival mask, is probably going to be a little bit edgier. It's going to speak like...
Are you going to do A/B testing with Spanish and English?
Yeah. But we're going to have a different feel for each one of those branding concepts, because a true branding concept isn't just like colors and a logo. It's about how you speak about the brand. And we're going to see which one people resonate with the most. And that one is what we're going to choose.
And this is why I love Emma Jackson. But honestly, I'm super excited to see what the results of this test. I really need to figure out the little chemistry portion of the test, of like the development. But I'm super excited to launch this. If there is a delay, I do apologize. We're working so hard to actually accomplish this within the $10,000 budget, which is difficult.
Yeah, but that's honestly, we're just going to keep you guys updated. And the next episode will be another update about where we're at. And hopefully we'll get some Facebook testing live. And we'll share those results with you guys too, so you can see the behind the scenes of what it takes to get a product to market.
Stay tuned.
Bye.